The concept behind Kaizen for sales is that this sales call is going to be better than the last one, but not as good as the next one. I'll be able to sell faster and complete the entire sales cycle, and I will do all of this spending less money at a lower cost. Better, faster, lower cost. Better, faster, lower cost is the mantra behind Kaizen for sales. And what are we talking about when we talk about better? We're talking about higher quality presentations, being able to deliver only the content the customer needs to make a buying decision and delivering it with professionalism. We're using professionalism throughout our presentation, our choice of words, intonation of the voice, body language, clothing. We use professionalism at a higher degree. That way we can do more upselling. When we have a small, medium, and large and the customer wants the small, we can sell them the medium. Or they want the medium, we can sell them the large. And we do this with less discounting or no discounting. Value-added selling is the way that we use, the process that we use to overcome or eliminate the price objection. What are we talking about with faster? We are able to shorten the sales cycle. The time from lead to closure can actually be shortened using Kaizen for sales and what's taught in this course. We can do rapid and thorough pre-call planning. Pre-call planning is the first activity seasoned salespeople abandon. Not only can we get back into that, we can do it faster and better, more professionally. And then being able to use some of the latest sales tools is critical. It's almost automatic selling. It's almost artificial intelligence, what we are able to do today with some of the sales tools. That's better, that's faster, but what do we mean by lower cost? We want to be able to control our cost as salespeople because every dollar we spend comes off the profit column. So we can use automation. There's RSA, real sales automation. There are other tools we can use to automate more and more of the sales process, not only the sales cycle. The tools that are available now are just amazing, and we will spend fewer hours making the sale happen. That reduces cost. Well, what's happening in selling in a recession is the customers are saying, I'm going to have a better price from you because my customers want a better price from me. We start looking at the supply chain, and in every level, customers are saying, I need a better price, and vendors are saying, I need to lower my price. Well, it's like falling dominoes. Someone needs to change that. It might as well be you. So customers are demanding lower prices in order to control their cost. Well, what are they really saying here? If we give them a price concession, we're going to lower our profit. So are we willing to take a lower profit in order to meet the price concession to make the sale happen easier? Or are we willing to compromise our quality? Maybe we do a little less of something, or we take away some of the additional benefits the customer would have received at full price. Or do we change the conversation from price to cost? You see, the only relationship that exists between price and cost is an inverse relationship. The item with the lowest price tag typically costs the most. And your customer is not talking about price, they're talking about cost. They want to control their cost by controlling our price. Let's take the conversation back to cost and see what we can do to lower their overall cost, even though our price might be higher. There are three ways we respond to the price objection. The third one is we overcome or eliminate it. This is what value-added selling is all about. You've been doing value-added selling or solution selling for a while, so you understand this. Well, how do we do that? That brings up number 2. We do a qualified and quantified cost justification. The two Q words are important: a qualified and quantified cost justification. And that's what solution selling brings to the table. Well, how do we do that? We begin with a qualified and quantified needs analysis. It all begins with pre-call planning and the needs analysis. This is what professional listening is all about. Every customer has a secret, and that secret is, here's what it would take for me to buy from you today at full price. If we don't ask them, they don't tell us. If we do ask them, the odds are they probably will tell us. So what we're talking about in Kaizen for Sales is developing new processes and techniques, new ways of doing this. And when we do, we improve pre-call planning, the first activity seasoned salespeople abandon. We improve call execution. And we improve post-call critiques, which means every sales call is going to be better than the last one, not as good as the next one. Teach others. Lean began in manufacturing as finding ways of making things happen better, faster, and at a lower cost, and the focus was maximizing the customer value while eliminating waste. So you could make better products faster and at a lower cost. That would maximize the customer's value, but at the same time, the manufacturing facility would not be generating excessive waste. Lean selling is helping the customer reach their current desired outcome the way they want to be addressed. So it's similar to manufacturing in that we're focusing on what's best for the customer, but at the same time, we're wanting to make sure we do everything we can right inside our organization. Look at some of these words. Helping is the H in plush, P-L-U-S-N-H, the 5 principles behind a successful value-added sale. Our job is to help the customer achieve their current desired outcome. So we do a needs analysis to find out what their current desired outcome is. What they want to achieve with us may be different from what they wanted to achieve with us on the last sale, and it's certainly going to be different from what other customers would want. And then what is their outcome? How do they quantify it? How do they qualify it? We want to make sure that we know exactly what we can do to help them achieve their current outcome and then deliver the message the way they want to be addressed. This is where blended selling comes in. And there's a mantra for lean selling. Let's take a look at that. The mantra for lean selling or Kaizen for sales is better, faster, lower cost. Being able to do every sales call better than the last one, faster than the last one, and at a lower cost. To make something better or do something better, we must increase the quality. In the previous lesson, we looked at some of the parameters for Kaizen for sales. Now we're going to look at how we go about making it happen. Implementing Kaizen for sales is a 3-step process. Let's start with step number 1. Step number 1 is to plot your sales cycle, and for the sake of this lesson, we're going to use a simplified cycle with only 5 elements. Sales cycles typically begin with leads. Where do we get our leads? Typically from marketing or from online sources. And then we do our pre-call planning to prepare for our initial touch with the customer. Then we make our initial contact however we choose to do that, and blended selling can give you many options for this. We deliver our presentation, we deliver our product or service, and then we ask for a referral, and the referral, of course, becomes a lead. So what you're looking at would be a simplified sales cycle. Once you've identified as many of the elements of your sales cycle as possible, transfer them to sticky notes or post-it notes and be ready to put them on a wall or a whiteboard in the order that you had them in the cycle. You'll understand why in just a moment. In your Kaizen event, you will have people from different departments, many salespeople as possible, and you'll look at your sales cycle. And in this simplified version that we see here, we begin with leads and then we do our pre-call planning. But in discussion, we might learn that in fact there's a step between leads and pre-call planning, and that would be prioritizing. So we would want to be able to move these sticky notes around and keep the sales cycle in sequence without it being too complex. So now we insert prioritizing because we don't want to do pre-call planning of an account that's not really an A-list account or as important as other accounts. Then we go from pre-call planning to the initial contact. Maybe in our conversation we realize that We need to check our schedules. Maybe we're going to be in that city later if we need to make a face-to-face call. We could reduce our travel, our T&E expenses by scheduling the call when we're going to be in that area. So as you work through each of these elements, you will start moving these sticky notes, these post-it notes around. That's why we use them.